Yo, we is live.
Of course we are. What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. Jokes is in the building. Say hi, Jokes.
Yo.
Sin, also in the building. Say what up, Sin.
What's happening, family?
Yeah. So listen, I see Ty's on time in the chat, dog.
Love it.
Hey Ty, bro, I see you, bro. You was running from them streets out there today, man. You seen a performance out there today. I'm glad you made it home safely. I see the homie DJ L Ice Ellis Mbae, aka Shock Undertaker guy, is officially in the chat. Yeah, Ellis, you can feel free to share with the folks in the chat what you just spent your hard-earned money on, because that's kind of dope, bro. You know what I mean? You might need to be ready, you know what I mean, for what's happening out here in this world. The answer to the message you just sent me, Ellis, is yes and no. I will highlight you about that later. What's up, Alfonso? The Rev dog.
Grab over there. Nah, you see, I'm just like back. I ain't got to worry
until it come back.
Not quite.
It's almost there. It's almost there.
Nah, it's 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like it's there. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. So, couple of things. So this episode was intended to really be an Ask Us Anything episode, and it still is. You all in the chat, feel free to ask us anything. We will definitely make sure that we dedicate some time to just talking to y'all and answering whatever y'all want. Y'all can feel free to throw it out there at any given time in there. Yeah, my man Ellis with the Captain America stealth shield.
Yeah, prop replica, baby. You know what I mean?
Sweet.
I love it. I'm happy for you, Ellis. I really am, dog. I know that means things for you. So yeah, we definitely, to Ask Us Anything still stands. However, man, there's a lot of news. There's a lot that's happening. There's a lot happening in DC Comics, TV, Netflix. CES is happening. We may not really get fully in the what's up, Heather? We may not fully get into CES until next week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. And I'm gonna save the DC stuff for towards the end because I feel like that's gonna take some time. But again, Ask Us Anything. It's, we're prepared for it, right, Sin?
Yeah.
See?
Absolutely.
See how easy that was? See how quick that was? You know what I'm saying? I ain't asked Jokes. Jokes looks less sure, doesn't he? Like, doesn't
just
he?
A little. Yeah, just a little.
Looks a little less sure. So look, let's do this. Let's start here. You are officially watching Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today, man, we about to talk about Kevin Hart, corner Netflix deal. And you know what? Let me be that who would win in a rap battle, Superman or Goku. Goku. Superman has no rhythm.
You gotta be Goku.
Superman has no rhythm. Yes. That's an easy joint.
Plus, that's a challenge. You throw Goku a challenge, he gonna rise to that.
And Joe, we seen Goku spit 5 bars online.
Dog, we done seen Goku spit some bars.
We seen him spit some bars.
Yeah, he does have some bars. So Kevin Hart scores this deal with Netflix, right? So to star in and produce 4 features for Netflix, and then after that, a first look deal that exists after that. J. Robert Deans, how are you, sir? So here's the thing. Kevin Hart already, he had a deal. He had a first look deal with Universal and a first look deal with Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
This is like his 3rd joint. So, I see him trying to push Heartbeat Productions. I'm not mad at that at all. Alfonso, top 10 superheroes. That's a loaded question.
Yeah,
dog, that's like a whole show right there. That.
Nah, but like, he is making heart attack money. But we'll do it. Like, we're gonna do it. Like, we'll just pick 10 joints somehow.
Is it our 10 or just loading snacks top 10? Like,
nah, just your 10. Like it's
right.
you know, whatever. Just pick it. Just give him 10.
Right.
But hold on, before we do that,
I know. Let's do this.
Here's the thing I find the most interesting about this. He might be robbing that. I don't think he's robbing it. I mean, Netflix got money. Like, I don't think he's robbing Netflix. Doctor Who, what's up? Here's the thing. I find it super interesting that a deal like this surfaces right before Netflix announces, literally, that they are going to have a new movie hit every single week. At least one new movie hit every week in 2021. The streaming services battles are heating up, and I would expect that we will see more deals like this with other companies. Here's the other thing. So, did y'all see the little, like, I guess you'd call it a trailer that Netflix put out like today?
Oh, like all their 2021.
I saw it going around, but I didn't look at it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not that it's like a huge thing to see, but it is like just these snippets of all these films. Is like The Rock. I guess I should call him Dwayne Johnson. Let me put some respect on his name. Dwayne Johnson and Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds have a joint together or whatever, and they're talking about it. Hey, you know what? Nah, Chappelle ain't laughing at Hart's check. Chappelle probably got a lot to do with why Hart got a check. But the thing that I find interesting about that is that Chappelle's deal was specifically for like stand-up, for comedy stuff that he wanted to do, and Hart's is to like produce and star in specific film, which, say what you want, has worked for Adam Sandler.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, definitely.
It's worked for Adam Sandler, who was more or less dead in the water in some ways when you really kind of look at what was going on. What's up, Marcus? You missed a lot. We do want to ask us anything, so people are asking us anything. Right now we're talking about Kevin Hart's Netflix deal and Netflix saying they're gonna have a movie every week. Now they said it like 70 movies, so clearly that's more than one movie every week. It's only 52 weeks in a year.
Hey, they had to make sure they had a backup in case something happened one of them movies.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing about that, Brandon Day, what it do?
Hey.
What's interesting about that, though, again, as the battle heats up between streaming services, I don't know if any is there anybody in the comments who plans on paying Discovery Channel for Discovery Plus? Is that?
I don't know. Hey, I
got it. Stuff out to some people that would like it.
I got it free for a year.
I'm not saying anybody. I'm asking y'all. Like, like, all right, you.
Yeah, I got it free for a year.
Discovery Channel content. I haven't watched Discovery Channel in a long time though, because I don't really watch TV anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah, like after the year, I'll probably cut it. Unless maybe they'll do something.
What up, Eddie? Yeah, Verizon giving Discovery Plus free for a year, which is cool.
Shark Week.
I mean, it might work.
Shark Week.
You know what I mean? Like, I think like when you consider the fact that like Discovery does have a lot of content, but like Disney Plus already has National Geographic.
True.
I think the content though between the two is very different. K Dizzle, what's happening? Man, Shark Week is all like you don't have to. You get Shark Week content without paying for Discovery Plus though. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. See, Heather, yeah. Hey, look, Bobby Flay. Let's not talk about Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay.
Nah, you can ask us anything. We are accepting. Now, listen, don't necessarily be upset if your question doesn't get answered the way you want. We will give you an answer. I just, everybody wants to have a streaming service. Everybody is trying to make deals to grab content. And right now, there are some really strong rumors that Netflix might be buying another streaming service, which is something I did not see coming.
Ooh.
I think a lot of people probably didn't see that coming if that's true.
At some point this year, Netflix might actually be gobbling another streaming service. If you had to guess, what streaming service would you think is on the plate for Netflix to grab?
trying to think what's out there. Obviously not Hulu because that's part of Disney.
No, too big, yeah.
Hey, Alfonso, I just want
Maybe
you to
something
know,
like
while I respect your list, Spider-Man's in there twice. Oh, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I got it. That's all right. I'm with it. I like that list.
Maybe something on the lower tier, like Voodoo. Yeah, like how they say, like probably Voodoo or something like that. I'm thinking probably somewhere around there, around that tier. But that's the first one that pops in my mind.
Yeah,
Last I checked, Walmart still owns Voodoo. Walmart has a lot of money, but they might be looking
at Crunchyroll. Not Crunchyroll. Oh no, that's already been done.
Yeah, that's already been brought up. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, he's frozen.
He's on to something. Yo, hey, you heard it first. Here, Loading Snacks. Netflix is buying someone. That dude hit the nail on the head right there, apparently.
Ooh.
Hit the nail on the head. But just like you said, like,
okay.
Yeah, maybe one of those. But definitely none of the big ones. Because obviously, now had like Crunchyroll been out there, I'm sure everyone now is trying to go for something anime-wise. Because like anime has blown up for Netflix specifically.
I was saying Netflix don't need that though. Netflix has their own space in in anime. They're cranking over there with
unless they absorb something just to have some title show. Like HBO Max right now is hitting pedal to the floor when it comes time for actually adding anime, since losing the Crunchyroll side of things. Like adding like Weathering with You, and there's a couple new titles that actually just got announced that they acquired. I forget the name of it, but it was another biggie that came out not too long ago that they got up on there. Gage is most definitely frozen.
Yeah, he's definitely frozen.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for him to
reconnect,
unplug back up.
Wayne Tech, IT department be on him.
Oh, we talking about DC later on, so they said we're gonna nip this in the bud now. Like
Before he gets into it,
Bruce like you ain't throwing no more shame on my name right now.
Doesn't HBO Max have Ghibli films?
Yes, they do have the Ghibli films.
Okay.
So that we know is off limits to everybody else.
Yeah, they're not giving that up. Wait, take dial up.
But for Netflix, it's up. There you go. So we're gonna look weird for a second, but no, I think this is a move that as much as we didn't see it coming, that they were gonna eventually do. Hey, welcome back. We
Hey, dog. Let me tell y'all what's funny, man. Marcus asked where my hatred for Batman came from, and then Batman cut off my internet, dog. Y'all peep that joint, man?
Hey, that's
now you know, Marcus, that was your Ask Us Anything,
man.
We
was just having that conversation. He's like,
Wade Tech IT, dog. IT department be all over you.
There is no IT department. All that money all overseas and everything. My man IT department is all in another country somewhere.
Oh, snap. Nah, I don't think Netflix is buying WWE.
That didn't happen. Oh man.
Hold up.
But I think
freeze up in the same spot.
Oh, there you go.
I was about to say. If he froze up in the same spot, I was going to die laughing.
Nah,
there we go.
Walmart Plus, yeah. Man, I don't know, man. All right, so hold on. We're getting a lot of questions, so we need to pause this for a second and start answering some questions. Y'all give us a second. All right, let's start with this. Top 10 superheroes. Jokes go.
Good God, like I'm in. Okay, sorry, Gage, but Batman is on my list.
That's cool.
Captain America. I'm just random off once.
That's cool. Go
Captain America. Got to throw in. Like I've been sitting here pondering, but this is not easy on the fly like this. I got 2 so far. Yeah, Sin, if you want to throw out at least 2 yourself, go for it.
All right, I got 10 right here. No particular order: Gambit, Rogue, Batman, Captain America, All Might, Deku, Todoroki, Bakugo, Aizawa,
cheating
and
ass
Rocket.
dude.
Hey, superheroes. Superheroes.
Cheating
I'm
ass
sorry.
Dude. He just took the whole UA Academy. You was ready for that. You got the jacket on and everything.
That was just a happy accident, actually.
My man.
Hey, he spit fire.
Always circumvent the jump. always.
I was actually putting some.
Anyway,
I was actually putting some thought behind this.
Listen, it's cool. Like I don't have time. We not gonna do all that. I'm not doing that with you right now. So
I will second All Might though. I will give you All Might though. That's definitely gonna go on my list right there though.
Okay, then. So stop picking on me.
Yeah, you start cheating. Listen. Hey, look. Superman 1 through 9 and Batman 10, 8, 9. Get out of the comments.
All the variations of Superman.
What are you talking about?
You gotta put the Supermans in the order. You gotta go through them.
What's the worst Superman in the joint? Listen, are you talking about like Steel? Dog, does Steel count?
I think Steel counts. Steel counts.
That's one of your joints? Nah, I really think he just means Superman 1 through 9. And then Batman not even a superhero. But look, all right, so Iceman, Colossus, Storm, obviously Spider-Man. For real, like I don't bang with like 2099 Spider. I think that's corny. Like I don't bang with 2099. I bang with Peter. I bang with Peter and I bang with Miles. You know what I'm saying? So both of them. I bang with Rogue. I mean, I guess if I was putting together a team, like I think a lot of people don't, but like think about like Professor X would be on my squad. You know what I'm saying? Like Professor X would be on my squad.
That's true.
Jean Grey would be on my squad. Cap wouldn't make my squad. Panther probably wouldn't make my squad either. For real.
Just for giggles from me, of course, I throw at least the White Ranger in that jump. I got at least have one of my Rangers in the list.
He's not a superhero.
Hey,
he's not a superhero.
He saves the world. Shut your mouth. There was no rules to this, so shut your mouth. There's no definition.
At least the people I pick are all superheroes.
Regular Jean, not Phoenix Jean. I feel like Phoenix Jean is cheap. Actually, matter of fact, I don't feel like Phoenix Jean is really a hero. I just think
she's anti.
Yeah, like I don't really feel like she's a hero. But you know what though? I will put Hulk. I probably forgot somebody, but let's say Deadpool.
That Firestar that he talking about?
Firestar. Yeah. Here's the thing about Firestar. Firestar wasn't. She was created for that show. She eventually did make it into the comics, but she was created for that show. Spider-Man and Friends. Marcus, I like your list. Gambit, Deadpool, Huntress. Huntress don't have no powers, man. Man, the Flash.
Like it's broke as Ultraman.
So you thinking too fast? I gotta kick somebody off this list.
It is though. Hey, listen. The only reason why I'll even give you the White Ranger is because
I'll kick her off.
The Power Rangers is based on Spider-Man in Japan. That's the only reason why I'm giving you that. Like he literally said that entire point. You know what I mean? But like really, it's like the White Ranger is like one of his grandbabies or something. It's cool. You know what I'm saying?
I'll accept that.
As far as my hatred of Batman, let me explain. I don't actually hate Batman. Not at all. On the contrary, Batman is one of my early favorite superheroes. Originally, because I didn't know any better. I thought he was a superhero. It's not that I don't think, like Batman does some very incredible things and you can't take anything from him as far as that is concerned. But I have issues with the way that they, honestly, it's not just Batman. It is Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman as that trifecta in DC where they will just write them new skills immediately so that they can confront whatever the issue is. It is to an extent them stealing from Toriyama because what they do with the three of them is what they do with Goku. Goku is always faced with odds that he cannot beat. And then he comes up with a new ability. You know what I'm saying? He dies, comes back with a new ability, goes and trains in zero gravity, whatever, comes back with a new ability. And that new ability or technique is what is used to beat that villain. Like that's how that works. Always, every time. It's what the storyline is. You already know what's going to happen in Dragon Ball. That's what it is. The problem I have with it is that, especially because Batman has no powers, and they maintain that he has no powers, they give him abilities that really are only abilities somebody with powers can and or should have. That's it. Superman, they overdo it. Superman, I actually do have a hatred for because he's so OP.
Mm-hmm.
He's OP on an actual I have powers, too many powers, power level. Batman is OP on a I don't have any powers and I can still beat Superman power level. That's kind of dumb. And I would prefer to see writing that actually pigeonholes him into what his actual abilities are, so that we can get stories that are based on what he would actually have to do, instead of making him partially human when it's time for somebody to come and break his back and then turn around being like, yeah, but he's the best fighter in all of DC. Then how did Bane break his back? Because that should have never happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that. That's my issue. It's more of issue with the writing and what they've done with the character, because they've had to uplift Batman because he's the best character they have. So they do things with him to make him above and beyond what the other characters they really wanted to be are. That's my thing with him. Hey, listen, Ty
hurt.
Just a little bit.
Ty hurt.
Can I just say, I love you, Ty, and I know the truth hurts. And that's what I'm here for, though. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm just here to tell you the truth. Sometimes you just gotta hear it, and that's what the facts are. You have documentation that Kevin Hart is a superhero. I'm cool with that. Because that dude has actually run into joints, saved people. He's a hero, though. He don't have no powers. So you have documentation that he's a hero. Like I said, Batman is more or less, he's a glorified vigilante police officer going around making citizens arrests. You know what I'm saying? And working with the cops behind closed doors or whatever. Like, Slim's not even, like, he's the greatest detective. Slim don't even have a detective license. Like, you would think that for all the things this dude was able, see what y'all did? For all the things this dude was able to go out and do, right? Study with the best kung fu masters and be the best kung fu person of all kung fu people. And then he's supposed to be smarter than everybody else, even though he doesn't have genius level intellect. And this dude didn't even go get a license to be a detective. Slim just be out in the street.
Nah, he just said, I'm a detective. That's it. He just gave himself the label. Gave himself his own license.
Batman's Chuck Norris to the DC universe.
Jai-like. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. I don't take pimping from pimps. Do your thing. Get you a Batgirl. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, holla at your best friend daughter. Holla at your son girlfriend. Do your thing, bro. Swirl it up. I ain't mad at you. You know what I mean?
Swirl it up.
He should be out there winning ultimate frisbee championships, dog. He should be. He should be winning gold medals in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, he's the best at everything there is. My man should be winning all the chess tournaments. He should be winning all the kung fu. He should have a gold medal in everything. Like, Slim is better than Bo Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the
world's greatest athlete.
Like, stop it, dog. Like, it's like, he's not faster than the Flash, but if they had to race, who would you say is going to win?
Batman gonna win.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
problem because there's prep time involved, because they got to do that countdown for my man to run off that line. And within that countdown, my man's figured out how that other person ain't gonna get off that line.
He's a ninja, dog. Like, this man will beat up Shredder, dog. Stop playing with me, dog.
Gave him them
Shredder
hands.
be punishing all 4 Ninja Turtles and they master, dog. Like,
and Batman punished
like putting the hands on Shredder. And Shredder was the biggest, I don't know what. Like, stop it, dog. Get out. You know, like. Yeah, he would. He would Nancy Kerrigan Slim right before the
you
race.
asked him that question, Ty. I'm letting him get it off. I'm letting him answer your question.
And what happened is the comments is on fire. So now you gotta respond to what's happening. That's what it is. Ty, you did it. I don't actually hate Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually like what Batman is technically supposed to stand for, but I think that, like a lot of DC characters, he's like this. He's just as evil as he is good. You know what I'm saying? He does things that he thinks he's above the law. And he's not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he does a lot of things that I feel like, especially nowadays, like Slim would have just walked into the Capitol.
Named them detectives.
Hey. You know what I mean? Like, he's in cahoots with some of the worst in cahoots, dog. Yeah. Ra's al Ghul, Talia,
That's true.
all that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a straight up lunatic, dog. He's a lunatic. He's sick, bruh. So and I and they be sicing him. Like I would feel better if they wrote Batman stories that were actually more about his flaws, because he has a ton of them. What they do is they write his flaws there, but then they act like they don't exist. And that's a problem for me. That's all. Spider-Man or Spider-Boy? Spider-Man. Yeah, he shouldn't be able to beat. Listen, but he can beat Killer Croc. You know what I'm saying? And he can beat Clayface. And it's for a long time he didn't have any real villains that had powers. You know what I'm saying? Moses. Batman is considering his era, Batman really is just Dick Tracy with a cape and cowl. You know what I'm saying? He's a spy dude with gadgets. You know what I'm saying? Detective, he's Dick Tracy. And Dick Tracy fought Batman was like flat top. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. That's basically who his villains were. You know what I'm saying? His villains, Two-Face, like, that's who his villains were. The Riddler, like, these are like crime boss. The Joker, the Penguin, the Riddler, Two-Face they are crime boss.
Themed gangs.
Yeah, like come on, man. Penguin really got dudes running around like birds. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Freeze got people out North Faces.
Yeah, be looking flies on the wall, on the joint.
Hoodie and the goggles and everything.
Fresh Timbs on, dog. He probably rock man Uggs now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my gosh. Wayne Tech is having enough of this.
I mean,
having enough of this
slander.
Coming
back.
So much slander. Hey, listen. At some point, Brandon Day asked a question, and I don't know what that question was. Can you run back and look?
It was, where'd your love of Spider-Man came from, and has it wavered at all throughout the years?
I can answer that second part, definitely.
Actually, yeah. So, like, I mean, I've loved Spider-Man since I was old enough to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, Spider-Man's always been my favorite superhero. Like, I kid you not when I say, like, for, like, my 4th or 5th birthday, like, my parents just bought me rope. Because I just wanted to climb buildings, dog. Like, straight up. Like, Spider-Man's always been my guy. And it wavered and when Marvel Comics really started to waver in like 95, 96 through like early 2000s, when it was like, all right, we better start selling some properties off and doing some things or whatever. Like the Clone Saga, like the stuff they did with like Ben Reilly and all that stuff, like in the comic books, like it definitely wavered at that point. But funny enough, Iceman's always been one of my favorite superheroes as well, which probably also really did start with Spider-Man and Friends. And my introduction to Iceman wasn't in X-Men; it was through Spider-Man and Friends. As a young child, I didn't even know that Iceman was part of the original X-Men. And when I started reading X-Men, Iceman wasn't there. I started really like reading X-Men in the Jim Lee era, where it was Blue Team, Gold Team. Iceman wasn't really a part of that. You know what I mean? Like they mentioned him, but he wasn't really a part of that. So in that wavering time when like Spider-Man started to fall off for me in the comics, Iceman shot all the way up, because that's when they decided like, yeah, nah, let's like really talk about what his abilities are and that he's been held back and he's got to wear this inhibitor belt and his ice form is a different form from his human form and he's actually he's an Omega level mutant. You know what I mean? Like when they decided like, nah, like if he actually thinks and controls his power, he can do things like just freeze the flow of blood to your brain and shut you down. You know what I mean? Like
classic.
He shot up, and that's in one of the worst runs in Marvel Comics history. Period. The Onslaught run, people hate that. They hate that run. But there are things that happen during that run that are so powerful, like Wolverine really having bone claws, like Magneto actually pulling all the metal out of his body, going that hard, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and Jean having to hold his body together. Like, there were some things that happened in those comics that have stood for the whole rest of the time. Iceman is useful in making it old fashioned. He is, as is Tony Stark, because I bet Tony Stark make a mean old fashioned, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Fire joint.
You just won't never get one because he gonna drink it before he ever hands it to you. But yeah, for sure, like Spider-Man and Friends, real talk. I see you, Alfonso. Like, Superman always been your dude, but you hate how they write him. I hate how they write him too. It's the same thing I feel about Cyclops. You know what I mean? Like, Superman isn't at his core actually a bad character. It's the way they write him and the way that they're forced to write him because they have given him too many powers. Like, they almost need to strip him back and say, here's what his actual finite abilities are. These are the things he actually can do. And take away some of the super ridiculous power level, you know what I mean, that they've given him to bring him down a few. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. You were looking for Firestar in the comics? Yeah, it wasn't happening. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't do a Firestar for a very, very long time. I'm trying to remember who it was supposed to be. There was another character who did exist. It was supposed to be in the comic with them. And I can't remember who it was, but they ended up having to create Firestar because of something they did with the rights or something like that. Kenpachi, Psychic Superman. That's just too much. It's too much. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. A shout out to Heather for calling Sin out for having a fly outfit.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You gotta do something for, you know, to let people know the 5 o'clock's coming back. Don't look at my 5 o'clock.
It's coming. It's gonna be here. It's gonna be here.
I see.
We'll be back.
I see. Dedicated Wrestling Loading Snacks Live. Are you offering to be on an episode, Ellis? That's what it sounds like. Sounds like you want to jump in here and talk wrestling with the squad. And if you want to talk old school wrestling, I'm super down.
Then he's in.
Right. It was Norm. You are very correct, Robert Dean. Yeah, I mean, I'm down if y'all want to talk old school wrestling. If y'all want to talk new wrestling,
he's like, I'm out.
I don't know nothing about what's happening right now.
Ow. Sin, why do you hate great anime?
It's days so we can only be talking about freezing. You can go back and watch my what I do that on 52 and 52. 52 and 52. I talked about it. You can go back and find out. It was not what you made it out to be. He hyped this thing up to be like, oh my God, this is so great. You need to watch this. It's like, all right, cool. Sit down and watch it. Nah, sir.
That wasn't it, huh?
That joint was cold. Like, no.
It wasn't the joint. It was nothing but fan service, and outside of that, it was nothing. I have no problem with fan service, but give me some good story and characters and all that kind of stuff behind it. Nah. It was not that. Your new one, though, you recommend it? You're tied right now. You're 1 for 1.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that post.
Yeah, right. I went through that one for a while.
He was trying to call you out, B. You know what I mean?
1 for 1.
1 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Tiebreaker.
Hey, so since we were talking about DC, let's talk about what's happening with DC right now while they load up some more questions for us or whatever.
Greg, no.
So DC Comics did a press release.
No.
And what's wrong? Jokes?
No, he's talking about no. Goldberg's back in the main event again. Like, I don't need this anymore.
Old Bird?
Yes, Old Bird.
Old Bird, dog. That's disrespect.
I'm sorry. I love Goldberg, but there comes a time where it's just like, WWE, you gotta let this go. I know they're trying to make up for when he was supposed to fight Roman, and then Roman had to pull out because he didn't want to be, because of everything that's going on right now. He just had a newborn, so he wasn't going to be wrestling, so they switched him out with Braun Strowman. But just Goldberg, just let it go. Just let it go.
Hey, dog. I don't.
I knew Marcus.
That's a solid list, Marcus. I will give you that. What's the worst MCU movie? Not the top.
How you gonna say? Wait, what?
Sin's worse or
No, he's asked the worst.
What's the worst MC? It says not top, just since worst.
Not top, just worst. I mean,
maybe not top. I don't know.
So just the worst. So I mean, wouldn't that be between like Thor 2?
Just, yeah, I'm gonna say Thor 2: Dark World. If we're just saying
you say the worst MCU movie is Wonder Woman 80.
That's what I was like. I had to stop for a second. I was like, are we just talking like worst superhero movie? I don't know. But
nah, the worst MCU movie. Probably Thor: The Dark World.
I think we're all unanimous about that.
That's probably what it is. That's what I would say. I think in the grand scheme of things, if I had to make a list, that joint would be the one I want to go back and watch the least. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, listen, Ellis. I was just making a comment. I don't even know what y'all are talking about. Like, I didn't see. I know who Goldberg is because he used to wrestle.
Yeah.
He used to wrestle when wrestling was good. So, like, I know who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like,
I mean, it's the story, like what they're doing and how the story. I like it, but it's just I don't want to see it. If all I can tell you is that when Goldberg fights Drew McIntyre, if Goldberg beats Drew McIntyre in his prime right now, I have an absolute issue with that. Like, small story, Drew McIntyre got fired from the WWE, went out to the Indies, did his thing, came back, and became WWE champion. He was one of those that he had.
What's his name?
Drew McIntyre.
Dog, I never heard of this dude. He sounds like he was on a CW show. Like, what are you talking about?
Sound like he was on Capitol Hill.
What are you doing? This is why I don't have live wrestling talk, because Drew McIntyre. I know Joey McIntyre from. Listen, Iron Man 3 is probably in the running for the worst.
That would be my second to the worst. Between those are my two worst ones. I personally didn't like Iron Man 3. Like, I know that's two. I know at least you, Gage. I know you like the story. You like what came of Iron Man 3. Me personally, I didn't. Maybe I think it was because of how the Mandarin was portrayed and what we thought we were going to get, and we got the total 180 swerve on it. I think.
See, here's the thing. The tricky thing about the MCU is that there are movies that they have that are better because of other movies that came out. Because, like, they go back and they do things with stuff that happened in those. So, like, if the plans that they're talking about having for Iron Man 3 and the Mandarin actually persist, like, if you would actually have to wait and watch Shang-Chi, right? Because they plan on actually having the Mandarin in there and it being, like, the real version of it. And that might actually turn around and make Iron Man 3
it could
better.
No, we're not skipping that, Mark.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's weird. It's weird.
I'll wait for that. And if somehow this ends up playing out, especially when Eternal, what's the Shang-Chi comes out, dog, I swear. Wait,
nah.
I watch a movie. But if somehow Shang-Chi and they twist this whole Mandarin thing and reference Iron Man 3 in there somehow, like, look.
They're definitely going to reference Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is where you first get to see Pepper in any kind of Iron Man outfit. You get to see all the rest of the Iron Man suits. You know what I mean? Kind of come to fruition. And it is, you do kind of see them build on the paranoia that came from Avengers for Tony in that. So it actually does bear more meaning.
I get you.
Yeah, like way more than like Thor. Thor: The Dark World only really bears weight currently because of the Infinity Stone. However, Thor 4 is probably going to make Thor 2 way more important because Jane's coming back.
Yeah, that's true.
And she's going to be Thor. Like, so, like, it's this weird thing where, like, they can go back and make stuff that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's just go with not the best show. But if you watched it, especially if you watched it, like, interspersed with the movies,
it was up.
So dope.
So dope.
So dope. So, like, this in the same way, like in comic books, you can have a filler book that doesn't. It's like you don't have to read this book to get the gist of the story. But if you do, it helps fill in and make the rest of the story better. It's not like getting a filler episode of anime where really they're just stealing time from you. like filler comic books, they're not necessary, but they do serve a purpose. So they have a tendency to actually help fill in backstory for people who are unfamiliar with certain things, and then allow for the things that are happening in the future to have a basis somewhere. Like sometimes they sow seeds in those places. And that's like Thor 2 feels like a filler book. You know what I'm saying? If you will.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do think that's kind of cool. And like, okay, so like what Tony's saying, like they showed Tony having PTSD. Cuddy is saying like that was cool to see as a member of the military. Like, I do think that there are things in there that make some sense. Fat is back, huh?
Called Tony.
I mean, listen, the idea of somebody else taking up the mantle of Thor is a big deal. They've played with it, with Vision being able to pick up the hammer, Cap picking up the hammer at the end of the, at the end of the movie. Like, so what it will mean for Jane to take up the mantle and what that means for Thor in his current state is going to be a big deal going forward.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Captain Marvel is filler. You know what I mean? It's a prequel. Yeah. It's relatively so. Like,
just to get her
for all intents and purposes, if they'd have had her show up at the end of the joint and then show up in the movie she actually sort of did something in, everybody just been like, oh, Slim, she powerful. The seeds that they sowed in that movie, though, aren't really about her and her power. They're really about the Kree and the Skrull. And the fact that the Skrulls are on the planet and who's actually a Skrull.
Right. Who
actually died, who got, you know what I mean? It's like those things that when you go back are going to end up being important. It's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Is she, you know what? She's like, hey, listen, Edie is saying she finna steal your hoodie jokes.
Hey, I will tell you, if you want to get one, believe it or not, this actually came from Target.
Yeah, but I'm not finna take her to Target and get one. Or if you want to get her one, since y'all share a birthday, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are birthday buddies. There it is, dear. You heard.
You like how you spun that? You like how you spun that?
Bro, I got 3 girls at home, so I'm a pro at this. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, it's what I do.
Let me go ahead and address Marcus, because he wants to know how could I watch that show when I don't watch horror. Number one, I didn't know what I was getting into when I started watching the show.
Shut up.
And then Ellis.
Let's just start that right there.
Ellis, get out of the comments, Ellis. Right now.
Bro, get everything in one shopping trip.
You gonna be on the East Coast soon, bro. Show up with a joint. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's too funny. But no, I didn't think Future Diaries was a horror watching it. I thought it was more like.
Hey, you getting plotted on jokes? I just want you to see.
Exactly.
You see this?
Yep.
Keep it up on you. You see this? All right. Got it.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was a horror movie a horror show when I was watching it. It was more like a dark suspense thriller type of thing. Like I enjoyed it. The end I got issues with. Like it got, as B would put it, a little bit too Dragon Ball Z for me at the end. And the majority of the show was like just dark, grimy, visceral, like combat and all that kind of stuff. Then when it kind of got into that realm in, I'm like, okay, now this show seems like it's taking a different turn than what I was enjoying the whole time. I'm not really feeling this side of it. And I didn't like the ending. I thought the ending should have been way darker for what we were dealing with for the whole time. But I thought the show was smart. I thought it was brilliant. One of the reasons, like I said, this is one of the reasons why it makes me love anime. Future Diaries. I watched it over the weekend. Marcus was asking what I thought about it. Because he was like, oh, wait till you get into it.
Day says you're welcome.
I told him he 1 for 1 now.
No, I peeped it.
He's 1 for 1.
I just want to see where that tiebreaker goes when he makes that next recommendation. Like that's going to be kind of interesting.
Choose wisely. Choose wisely.
Because if you don't, it's gonna get said. Hey, so look, So DC is doing a reboot.
Okay.
Yes, that is after the bonus episode. Yes, I still feel that way. I was not happy with it.
Dang, that's terrible. I saw that comment and then like go
Yeah.
back watch it. Oh, all right, let me go do that.
Yeah, because
Didn't
when
have
it ended, but it took me to the morning to actually get the episode.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
after I got it, I watched. I was like, that was it. Like this, how it all ends. Like, no, I wasn't happy with it. Wasn't happy. With it.
I'm not positive. Listen, I feel way better right now about what DC is doing with their books than I did when we talked about this like 6 months ago.
I'll agree.
I do too.
Looked like they was going to do this whole 5G thing, and people was upset or whatever, and like
It's called Future Diary. It's an anime.
so they are. So essentially, it's kind of weird, but I think it's smart. I'm still a little bit confused on exactly what they're doing, but essentially, DC is doing like a 2-month trial basis with all these new books, where they're basically just throwing it out there, see what sticks. And so they ended Metal. Do we need to avoid spoilers?
Metal and
Did it just ended, right? Metal.
Like it just ended.
I would say avoid spoilers just for people who haven't got a chance to go get the books.
So let's just say this: when Metal ends, essentially they come to a decision as writers that the multiverse exists. They have removed what is called the source wall, which is basically the wall that's like at the end of the multiverse that technically you can get past, but nobody goes past it or whatever. So basically, they've removed the source wall from DC Comics as a whole. And having done like 4 different reboots over the last decade, now they're basically saying like, where generally what they would do is one reboot essentially replaces
the other one,
everything that came from before, and it's like that didn't happen. Now it's like everything that happened in the past did happen, and there are also all of these other futures, which kind of just gives them free reign to not have to tie themselves to writing a specific story about one character that if that story isn't working, they have to stick with it to try to finish it out. Now they can just...
It exists.
All right, well,
it's there. But
yeah,
let's go back to this, and it's a whole dig it.
It ties pretty brilliantly in with what we talked about like last week with them saying that for the movie slate starting in 2022, they're going to be doing like 6 movies a year, 4 in theaters, 2 straight to HBO Max, and that you'll have multiple characters that exist in multiple universes played by different actors. So probably right now, the biggest one that's getting a push is Wonder Woman, which, you know, perfect from the hero of 84. On they have essentially, again, no spoilers. So there is a new Wonder Woman. There are a lot of new characters. Let's start with that. So let me just run down this list really quick. In terms of what they're doing. They're doing currently for January and February something called DC Future State. So there are all these books that are coming out that are anthologies and like one-offs and like maybe 4-volume books that are telling stories of new characters that are technically supposed to be in the future in some manner. And so for what they have, it's a lot of them, but so they have one called, all of these are Future State and then the title. So I'm not going to keep saying Future State. So we have the next Batman, who is possibly Luke Fox, but there are people they're not positive it actually is Luke Fox, so Lucius's son, who's basically the Iron Man version of Batman. But they are saying that this Batman is a black character, but we don't have all the details about that just yet.
Right.
There is a Harley Quinn book, which is supposed to give her like her Batman vigilante, like that thing for her that officially makes her that. We have the Dark Detective, which is a Bruce Wayne Batman story where Bruce Wayne is on the run. Robin Eternal, which is a Tim Drake Robin book.
Interesting. Catwoman,
Nightwing, and like Nightwing, if you look him up, like Nightwing has on like this full armor on top of his normal suit. People are really excited about. There's a Batman Superman book. There's a Kara Zor-El Superwoman book. Superman of Metropolis book, which is Jonathan Kent, so Superman's son, as Superman. Superman versus the Imperious Lex Luthor. Superman Worlds of War, where Superman is basically off-world as a gladiator on War World. Think World War Hulk.
That's what I was about to say.
That's basically what it is. Not that hasn't happened before, though. You know what I mean? It's almost... Some of these seem like they're kind of like what-if stories, which technically are real within what is the multiverse. They are going beyond the multiverse and calling it an omniverse. Yeah. So there is a Superman Wonder Woman book. There is a book called House of L. There is a Justice League, which is a new incarnation of Justice League characters, which include new versions of these characters, including like the new Brazilian Wonder Woman. We'll get to. There's a new Aquaman book, which takes Aqua Lad, Jackson Hyde, makes him Aquaman, and he is supposed to be getting married to Aquaman and Mira's daughter. So it's an adventure that they have outlaw somewhere.
That's the other girl. That's the girl on the cover with him.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
A new Flash, in which Wally is possessed by some evil that escaped the Speed Force, that is starting to control him, and the other speedsters, the other Flashes, are supposed to be trying to help him, but none of them have their powers. All of them have lost their powers for some reason.
Okay.
Green Lantern, The Last Lantern, which is John Stewart, Kilowog, whatever. It's supposed to be like kind of like a last stand of Green Lanterns. You know, we'll see how that is. Immortal Wonder Woman. Jokes, I sent you an image for this. Can you pull that image up?
And while you get Marcus, I have watched The Promised Neverland. It is absolutely amazing.
And going back to Doc and Ty, I'm caught up on Star Trek. Season 3 ended pretty clean. I'll just say the people that don't like season 1 like the last 2 seasons. If they like season 1, they don't like the last 2 seasons. It's a weird combo, but yeah, it is. But yeah.
All right, a couple of things I need to address. Ty, first of all, Bruce Wayne's diversity hires, his affirmative action hires, don't really count because he ain't even paying Luke Fox. That's first of all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really with it. Though I would say that technically in an Iron Man suit, he has more powers than Bruce Wayne does, so I might like him. Alfonso, I'm not actually talking about Nubia, though Nubia does. So some of these books that I'm mentioning, again, are like 40-page books that have other stories in them. So there is a story specifically for Nubia in the Wonder Woman book, but the Brazilian Wonder Woman that I'm talking about is a completely new character. Again, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about her in a moment or three.
Yes, I heard Alfonso. I thought it was cool.
There is... Did you put that picture up, Jokes?
Yep, it's on. They can see it.
So here's the thing. Here's what I want y'all to notice about this. Immortal Wonder Woman... Again, we're not going to do spoilers. I want y'all to look at her belt. That's all I want you to do. I know. Just look at her belt. You looking, Sin? Look at her belt.
Damn, I don't think he realized that. That was the first thing I peeped when you sent that image in the group. I was like, that's the only reason why I sent you. I was like, stop. Wait a minute.
Okay.
J. Robert Dean's Nubia is a Wonder Woman. She's Wonder Woman's. Technically, she's literally Wonder Woman's twin sister who's black. Mm-hmm. She's been around for decades. That's who Nubia is. Yeah, she got on Batman's utility belt, y'all.
Hey, that's why she's immortal. She got whatever response that she needs. It's in that belt, so they can write it in.
Got God pills and sensu beans in his belt.
They can write it in
straight up.
She needs sensu beans. The only reason
why Batman will beat Goku. Slim got sensu beans. Oh, got it. Okay. There's a new Teen Titans book in which the original Teen Titans are taking on a new group of Teen Titans and teaching them the ropes.
Oh, okay, thank you for answering that. Because I'm looking like Nightwing to come like he's not a teen. Like,
correct.
Why is he still here? But now it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. There's a new Shazam. This takes place further in the future than the rest of Future State, because this is supposed, like, Billy Batson's kind of starting to get out of control, and they think that maybe Shazam is actually taking over his body.
Hey, that's dope.
So that could be interesting.
Yeah.
There's a new Suicide Squad. This comes off like a what if, because this Suicide Squad is Justice League members that have basically turned on the people that sent them to do their job. That
I'm rocking with
may be a real thing. Straight up MacGuffin belt. You right, Heather. Because the utility belt is just a MacGuffin belt. A new Swamp Thing.
That joint kind of seems interesting too.
The new Wonder Woman. So this Brazilian Wonder Woman, the reason why I wanted to hold off on her is because right now, she seems to be getting the biggest push of every other character that's being introduced or talked about or whatever. And to be honest, she seems like she might have the most staying power of everybody else they're talking about and or introducing in terms of, like, being able to survive on her own. So, Jokes, I sent you a link to a database that has some information about her. Can you throw that up for me for a second, please?
Oh, you want everybody to get the link?
Nah, I mean, you can pull the page up. That's up to you. Like, it ain't that deep. But basically, here's the thing. So, this version of Wonder Woman basically steps up to take Diana's place in Diana's absence. She is an Amazon from the actual Amazon. And, like, her father is a Brazilian god. He's like a Brazilian river god. And I think, again, there's potential here. They are really doing a lot to kind of mix Greek mythology and, like, Brazilian lore together for this character, which makes a lot of sense. Like, technically, the Amazons are they're Greek in their original story is a Greek story, but it's basically because when the Amazon was discovered and the Amazonians were fighting with Eastern Europeans, because the women were fighting alongside the men as they fought, and that was so different from what European men were used to seeing in terms of the way what their women did, what they were capable of, and how they were. They took that idea of this Greek group of women warriors and essentially assigned that name to them. That's kind of where the idea comes from. So it is kind of this amalgam, technically, of those two cultures anyway, which I think is really interesting. You know, she's young and she's brash. She's impatient. And she has a Pegasus named Jerry.
So whack.
Hey, what's whack about that? Hey.
I hate it. I hate it, dog. I hate
it. You're gonna hate it now, and then when it comes out and we start seeing it, I bet you're gonna like it afterwards.
No, I'm gonna always hate it.
It's just like sending Moon Knight.
My man Ty said, "Peep the kryptonite necklace."
Oh, right quick before you jump in, so I want to answer Brandon about asking me about wrestling. I mean, for me, you know, it's always been entertainment. So, I mean, growing up, I don't want to, like, I was probably a little bit quicker than a lot of other people, or at least as a kid growing up. So I always knew there was a scripted element that was involved with it, but at the same time, there was always things that happened that necessarily were unexpected to happen. I mean, it's just like any other show, any other movie that you watch. But depending on when you watch wrestling, you know, storytelling. Like I'll take, for example, I'm gonna take Sin's favorite wrestler, Triple H. Triple H had some of the best storytelling that was written in years before, and then finally, you know, it was decided, like, let's go ahead and tie some things together. Like finding out that Triple H was actually the mastermind behind why Austin actually got run down. Like, that was a whole, like, 2 to 3 year story that was being told. Like, that type of stuff really intrigued me. And I mean, it's still going on. They're athletes, so you see them perform. It's just like, I mean, you're watching football for super fast people running, taking pigskin, running down the field. Like, it's kind of the same concept. Like, I latched on to wrestling more than I latched on to football, basketball. Don't get me wrong. I got favorite teams all over the place.
It's the drama.
But the drama that you see.
It's the drama.
And
like, if we had started watching soap operas instead, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
Hey, and just like, and
I'm not trying to be funny.
No,
it's
I know you're
thing.
not. And unlike, say, like basketball, you don't really have different things that you can watch. Like, you have your NBA and like you have like your particular foreign leagues and things like that. But they're not as big. But wrestling, there's so much of it that where if you don't necessarily like the mainstream stuff, like a WWE, there's tons of other things that you can watch that may pique your interest, including the indies for one. Like, you'll find a lot of the indie promotions that you can go see put on some fire productions that, don't get me wrong, they don't have the money or the support like a WWE has, but they can establish and they do things a lot better than what you'll see in like a WWE type of environment. But
the thing about sports as a whole that I think is the smartest thing about pro wrestling is that somebody who decided pro wrestling should be a thing already knew that the only reason why men watch sports is because they actually love drama. Men tune in to sports specifically for the drama. You can say it's the competition. It's not. It's the trash talking. It's the who did what to who. There's a reason why SportsCenter can be on multiple times a day. There's a reason why, like, the top 10 oftentimes isn't about the actual top 10 things that happen that make an athlete a great athlete. A lot of times it's what some athlete did to another athlete who just got posterized. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It is the press conferences that people tune into after the game is over. Why do you care? You know what I'm saying? The game is over, but you care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are tuned in to all kinds of aspects of these people's lives.
You got people shoving mics in their face. Hey, why'd you lose?
Man, get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah, like realistically, like, the kind of drama that exists in boxing in a lot of ways is the same thing. It's the kind of thing that Muhammad Ali latched onto and turned into a thing. The spectacle of him fighting anybody just because of the kind of trash that was destined to be talked before the fight sold tickets. And that's the same thing that happens with pro wrestling. It's that, let's take a moment, let's bring them into a room, pretend that they hate each other. Sometimes they really do hate each other.
They do hate each other.
Have them talk trash and make stuff up right here, right now, so that the crowd gets behind it. And it's like, there's nobody in the crowd who doesn't know that the ending is fixed. And I think all sports are fixed, but that's a whole other thing. It is the drama of sports that actually makes people tune into it. It is the, who do you think is going to win? Oh, so-and-so is going to win. But it isn't just did they win, it's did they win by how much? How close of a game was it? It's the drama of it that actually draws people in. So sports is technically the first reality TV. And wrestling does that better than any other sport because it's the only honest sport. It is the only honest sport. Everybody knows when you tune into pro wrestling that they already know what the ending is going to be. Now, how it gets to that ending, they can make it up along the way. Mm-hmm. They real athletes. They work super hard.
Yeah.
They work 300 days plus days out of the year. You know what I mean? Like, they are some of the hardest working athletes on the planet, period.
100%.
And a lot of them juicing, period. But it's honest, dog, because you already know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have a person surprise run down to the ring to interrupt a match and they play Slim's theme music on the way there.
Like, what do you what?
That's not a surprise, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You already know Spanish announcement table getting punished. You already know.
Oh, man, you don't always know the ending. That's why I have a blue check. Hey,
dog.
I understand.
Not you know, they know. They know the ending. You know that they know the ending. That's why you have a blue check.
That one particular ending, I don't think any other than like two people in the back knew that ending. Cause,
which is cool. Listen, that's fine, right? If you talk about one fight in all of the history of wrestling, dog. Sure. All right. You know what I mean? What's up, Nichelle?
Hey.
I appreciate you jumping in there. Really do. My man Ty said he met Sensational Sherry.
Oh man.
She mean mugged you. Hey, yeah. Hey, listen, man.
Hey.
My aunt once hit Lex Luger in the face with a piece of ice. Like straight up. Like Slim won a match. She wasn't happy. She pulled a piece of ice out of her cup, chucked that joint, hit Slim in the whole face, bro. It was about to be a problem in that joint. Y'all, like, sometimes y'all get a little too. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's real action.
Mm-hmm.
They know what the stories are, though. You know what I'm saying? But, like, realistically, if you look at the rest of sports, you know, they find people for cheating. Referees cheating in the NBA.
Hey, it's
you know
like,
you gotta bring instant replay back into football because they cheating. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's been an Olympics since I've been alive where somebody hasn't had a gold medal strip because they was juiced. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all fake. They work hard. But at the end of the day, like, the only honest joint is pro wrestling. I respect the hell out of it for that. Yeah, she was all about it, dog. Like, y'all really be like them signs and stuff. Like, y'all really feel like I know jokes be yelling at the screen.
Oh,
I know he be yelling.
I will tell you that's facts. That most certainly is facts.
Yeah, you be knowing. He yelling at the screen. Can't help it. Well,
Can't help it. Get into it. That's some of the best things. Especially in the I miss right now being able to go to live events. Like, if you've never been to a live wrestling event, I tell you, when we get back to a time when we can attend events and things, I would highly recommend going to a live event. It's such an atmosphere to be in. Just like if you've been to a football game, and Gage, you use this example all the time, and you go to a football game, you have everybody out there in their team gear, the face paint, the whole 9 yards with it. Let me tell you how when you get in here with a bunch of wrestling fans, everybody got their belts going around here, dressed up as wrestlers. Like, it is some of the most fun that you will ever have. When I went to WrestleMania 29, I'm pretty sure it was 29. Someone came dressed as Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Mankind. It was a couple others, and they literally had a wrestling match in the parking lot while we were all waiting to go to get into the stadium. One of the funniest things that you could ever see. And then once they got in, two dudes was wrestling. They were fighting in the stands with Stone Cold, and I think that was Mankind. It was so funny. I tell you, if you get the opportunity to go to a live event, go to a live event. It's something that you will absolutely enjoy.
Facts. Sin. Alfonso wants to know what's the best 3 anime out right now.
Is he asking like what's currently on TV or like just stuff that we know are like returning? Like there's not like
out right now.
First one that's come to my mind is probably The Promised Neverland. 2 other ones I know, Attack on Titan. I'll probably go with Attack on Titan right now.
Fire.
On TV right now. I probably don't have a third right now.
It doesn't say on TV. It just says out.
Just out. Don't even worry. Just throw.
We're just out for right now. I'm gonna say Sword Art Online, My Hero, and Promised Neverland right now.
I dig it.
That's what we're going right now. And in response to Marcus, he told me check out King's Avatar. I have it queued up to download when we get off of this.
Oh, Frosty, you definitely need to catch up on Attack on Titan because this final season of Attack on Titan,
I got
season 4 joint.
Woo, I know something.
I got Demon Slayer on hold for right now.
I read some of the manga, but I intentionally stopped because I really want to see this.
That's what he said.
I want to see it unfold out on screen, but oh god. Demon Slayer is fire. Like, for something that's like only like right now it's only like 24 episodes. It's currently in the movie. Demon Slayer is fire. The manga ended, but this Demon Slayer is fire.
So the world keeps telling me.
Check it out,
sir. Just watch those 24 episodes.
No. Understand? I don't have. It's not that. It's everybody toting big three. It's one of the big three. Shut the hell up. No, it's not. I don't want to hear that shit.
Ooh, my man, salty.
I hate that argument.
Ooh, salty.
It does not belong in. It does not belong in big three territory right now.
Do you like Claymore?
Claymore is cool, but I haven't seen it in forever. I do need to go back and give it a revisit. But from what I remember, Claymore was dope.
Yeah, I think this whole DC Future State thing is gonna work.
Yes, I did. I think so. I like what they're doing. It seems like the idea, maybe at least from what I was looking at, is maybe to with this Future State kind of start phasing out Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, all of them, and start bringing in the new guys, like a kind of a pass of the torch to those new mantles, to the new people kind of thing. So we get closure with those old characters, whether they go into a Nick Fury type of role and Bruce Wayne's no longer Batman and the new person is, or Clark goes into the universe and lets his son handle Earth, stuff like that. I think that's what they're aiming for with it, and I like the idea, and I like the new looks of all the characters as well.
Yeah, same.
The state started today.
Yeah. But
they started putting things out like this week.
Black Clover is fire, Marcus.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
The thing about Future State is, I think that they're doing something smart. I mean, they looked at what Marvel did when they did like the all new thing, and basically just got rid of Tony and was like, nah, Riri Williams is Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, they did that with their big three. You know what I mean? Like, Riri Williams was Iron Man. You had Jane as Thor. And you had Captain America got taken over by Sam Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Falcon became Captain America. And so I think that hurt Marvel. You know what I mean? In a way, because Thor was still around. At least there was I think people really resonated with what was happening with Jane and with Thor because of Thor, their actual story that came before that. You know what I'm saying? And even though Sam Wilson's been around for a long time, it still felt like it just kind of happened. And I still think most people, if anything, would have preferred to see Winter Soldier, see Bucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take that mantle or whatever, or something along those lines. So I think it felt forced. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You want
he's
know if you like Ultraman. Have you ever Ultraman?
Yeah. I'm familiar with Ultraman. It's okay. I haven't, by all means, I have not watched every season of it, but I've watched a couple here and there. Obviously, I've watched what was one of the U.S. counterparts, Superhuman Samurai, but of course, I had to immediately switch over to Ultraman to actually see what it really truly was. But I enjoy Ultraman for the few that I've watched. I watched some of the original Ultraman, so some of the ones more or less from the 80s and 90s. But definitely dig Ultraman though.
I mean, again, Ultraman based off Spider-Man, so we just going.
My man, stay true to that. Oh.
I mean, it's a fact, bro. You know what I mean? It's a fact. One of the things I want to say that I like about the new Wonder Woman is that if you look, she doesn't have a lasso of truth. Mm-hmm. She actually has bolas, which is kind of dope. You know what I mean? They changed that up. It's better than Wonder Woman getting a chainsaw.
Yes.
When we saw that originally, I was like, wait a minute. It's not very Wonder Woman-y.
I didn't like that at all.
Not gonna lie though, if we saw that on a movie screen, I don't know, that joke made kind of cool.
Yeah,
Dark and Black was dope from what I remember. Epo was dope. I haven't seen the other two, even though I have them, but they're in my library somewhere.
Jay Roberts, I am pretty positive that Future State started. It runs January and February, and then the new thing that is going to take over after Future State comes after that. So this is only a 2-month run.
Yeah, this is.
And then it's Infinite something. I can't think of what it is right now. That starts, I believe, in March.
Mm-hmm.
For what the new era is, and again, it's kind of like they're using future state as a test to say these are things that are in a future / other multiverse that, like, if they stick and they work, then they will begin to incorporate them into what the new DC is. Technically, the new DC isn't future state. Future state is just
it's a catalyst.
Yeah,
you have you have to know the ending of Metal to know why it is happening, and it makes sense. And I like, because of the way that it ended and the information that you find out, it makes it real cool to see how things are going to be tied together, expanded upon. Like, DC, when it comes to their comics, I tell you, DC always piques my interest with some of these. Even though there's been reboot after reboot after reboot, they've always had that interesting fact or just piece of it that when it comes out. But this one, I really dig. I'm actually just probably gonna go. At least there's too many titles right now for me to just want to be able to jump in and read all of them. But I'm probably gonna I'm probably gonna subscribe to at least 3 of them. Obviously, probably Justice League, just because it's kind of the combination of everybody. So certain stories will probably end up intersecting inside of there, and then like Batman and probably like one other thing. But I think this is going to be a very interesting, and not to tell you what this could potentially set up for like animated movies that we'll probably see in the future.
I'm really looking forward to that with the animated movies that spawns from these.
Yeah, because that new Batman joint. Nope.
So are we shifting now? Nope. Maybe instead of it being in the animated side, the comics are gonna be the fire.
You tell me you like that joint, I will never trust your animated judgment again.
This is the one he's gonna like. This is the one that he is going to like.
It can't be. Like, bro.
Oh, with the Soul of the Dragon?
Yes.
Bruh. Listen to me. Let me look at you real close.
Oh, it's the turn. This would be the turn, but
it's real close, bruh.
What's up? Talk to me.
Who put their money behind this garbage?
J. Robert Deans.
Let me tell you something about 70s Soul Batman. No, sir.
I have no desire.
That's what I
watch it.
Oh, of course we're gonna watch it.
I know you are.
Oh God.
Because we got this.
That's right, Marcus. Dr. Stone season 2. Stone Wars.
Wars.
Nah, it's not another Flashpoint. Like, nah. Flashpoint, the anime, that joint is fire, bruh. This joint is garbage, bruh. It's like Cartoon Network level Batman animated. Like,
I was looking at that trailer like, is this real? Like, y'all serious?
I'd be more interested if it would have been like Batman teaming up with like Black Dynamite, something stupid like that. Just
they could have just done that.
But they gotta let Black Dynamite get his thing off though.
Hey, it could have been a black label. It could be a black label movie that they released for it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Flashpoint was. Flashpoint was. That joint definitely rounds out the best DC animated joints. Like, that joint is. They just beat a dead horse with it, because then they took the greatness that was that animated joint. Was like, you know what? Make a show about this. Like, every
season, over and over again.
Right? People just kept watching.
Ty said it's gonna be good. He put money on it.
Hey Ty, let me get your stimulus, dog.
You can buy my copy. Go ahead.
Let me get your stimulus, bro, because gads, man. All right, listen. I mean, you're not supposed to like the new Batman cartoon, J. Roberts. We just think you might, because it's not good.
That's all. It's the opposite of Apocalypse War.
I mean, listen. Apocalypse War. I don't even know if Apocalypse War would make my top 10. But
look what Alfonso just said.
funny you should say
Oh,
that.
funny you should say that.
Guess what's coming? More on that in a couple of minutes. It's getting a little late. We need to wind this down. So check this out. We have coming up the 29th of January into the 30th. 24-hour stream with the good folks over at Uncanny Nerd. If you're not already following them, follow them. Check them out. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all the socials. Uncanny Nerd. They are doing a charity stream for the Three B's charities, which is a charity, is a local charity that basically puts together like care baskets for women who have undergone breast cancer mastectomy surgery. And it was done at the request of another friend of ours, Rodney Roberts, his wife, who is currently in the battle for cancer herself. This was her choice of a charity. And so we are going to partner with them. We have jumped from, you know what? Funny, y'all don't know this yet, but we've jumped from what was going to be an hour long to a 2 hour long. Where we are going to be on that Saturday, what right now I believe is going to be from 10 to 12, the top 10 DC animated films for this charity stream. So you all get ready, because it's going to be a real one. We will be doing the same thing we did when we did our top 10 movies of 2020 and our top 10 movies of the last decade, where we will all come through with our own top 10 lists. We will use those lists and what's on those lists to configure what the top 10 is. And then based on the points given to those that managed to make it into the top 10, that's where the debating begins. Frosty says we are locked in for that time. So that's what it is, 10 to 12. So we were a little concerned. I was a little concerned about us being able to complete this, along with so BP, who is another great artist. You guys should follow BP, Black Squadron, the Black Squadron podcast, so forth. Just follow Black Squadron. He's going to be joining us for that and having his own 10, and we're going to have to come together and kind of make those lists pop off. So again, that is Saturday the 30th, where we'll be doing that. But the actual 24-hour stream begins the night before at 8 p.m. and runs to 8 p.m. that evening. There are going to be some really cool people who are joining. Ming Chen from Comic Book Men is going to be on. Greg Gunberg, who you might know from like Heroes, is going to be on doing stuff with them. There's going to be like D&D. There'll be some World of Warcraft. Pretty sure there's going to be some Among Us. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, Frosty. Yeah, so you guys just make sure you check that out. You'll see posts from us going up soon. But again, if you go and you follow them, you'll be able to find all of that there too. They're closing out the stream with Among Us. Awesome. So we will be doing that. Top 10 DC animated films. We're gonna lock it in, solidify it. It's going down. Having said that, we will be streaming at our regular time on Thursday evening for cutscenes, so we can talk about some video games. There's definitely some stuff that's happening at CES that I want to talk about there, among plenty of other stuff that's going on in the video game world right now. So we'll be talking about that Thursday. Sin, you have a job to do. If you would, please. I'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson. Thank you much. We truly appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts.
Really, really, really do. Jokes, you got a job to do. If you would, please.
Shoot. Good to
go. Excellent. So, Jokes has done his job. Put a Linktree link in the chat. You guys, if you wouldn't mind, and gals, if you wouldn't mind, hit the link tree. Check out all the places there you can follow us on social media. We are 3 follows away and like 0.1 minute of view time away from gaining affiliate on Twitch. So that would be awesome. So if you're not already following us on Twitch, we would greatly appreciate it. Here's the thing. If you have Amazon Prime, and I know a lot of you do, then you have Prime Gaming. And Prime Gaming allows you to go on Twitch and give subscriptions to people. So when you look at folks like you see in Twitch right now, like Frosty, who's in there, like you can take every month, they give you a free sub that you can give to somebody. Otherwise, Amazon just keeps it. So if you have it, by all means, sub somebody who's affiliate. It makes sense. Once we hit affiliate, I'll be begging you for ours. But in the meantime, make sure you guys are going and doing that kind of a thing because you have it and you're probably not using it because a lot of people don't know that it exists. But again, if you have Amazon Prime, you automatically have a free subscription to give to somebody every month. Mm-hmm. So please bear that in mind. Go out there and do that. Support folks, you know, who are out there trying to do this kind of a thing for a living. It is super, super helpful. On that note, again, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend again. Please follow us across all of our social platforms. It just helps us. Feel free to keep doing things like what you're doing. Jump in the comments, talk to us, because that kind of helps push things, pushes the algorithm to other people so people see it. We love and enjoy and appreciate all of that. Thank you all for tuning in. It means the world to us. One more note, everybody stay safe. Wear a mask. How about that? And just, you know, keep your eyes open, man. State of the world is different from what it was like a week ago and the week before that. So everybody just stay on your P's and Q's, which means pints and quarts for those who aren't aware. If you'd like to fill in on what that actually means, I'll save it for the next for Thursday's show. I'll hook you up in case you want to know. But yeah, y'all do all that. Stay safe. We appreciate you. With that, we're out. Toodles and lose. What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.